All right, welcome everybody to the Getting Started with Zoho Docs webinar. My name is Miles and I'm the Customer Success Manager for Zoho Docs, and I will be leading today's webinar. I also have my technical and customer support teams with me who will be helping us during the session. So for the next 30 minutes, we're going to be discussing the basics of Zoho Docs, which will help new users to get started with the application. It will also help the existing users to get the most out of Zoho Docs. Here's our agenda for the day. We'll begin this webinar with an overview of the product, followed by the product training, and then we'll have a Q&A session in which you can post your questions and have them answered. So with no further ado, let's get started. So first things first, what is Zoho Docs? In a nutshell, Zoho Docs is a combination of business class document management system and collaboration system that works from the cloud with easy accessibility, mobility, and higher security. We have designed the product to give team members all the data they need in one secure and collaborative place, which can be accessed anytime on any device. So with Zoho Docs, you're essentially going to be putting the most important two assets of your company together, your people and your information. And this is a powerful thing. Now let me start being specific and show you what exactly Zoho Docs is made of. Let me start with our Office suite first. Zoho Docs comes with an online Office suite using which you can create new Word documents, presentations, and spreadsheets. You can also import your existing Word documents, spreadsheets, and presentations and edit them using our online Office suite. No download required, no installation required. You can simply create new documents from right within your internet browser. Now, choosing a cloud-based Office suite over the traditional desktop Office suite will give you and your organization a ton of benefits, not only in terms of accessibility and collaboration, but also in terms of cost savings, because the Office suite in Zoho Docs is free of cost. So wherever you log in or in whatever device you log in, your Office suite is going to be there. There are many advanced features and functionalities hiding inside of the Office suite, which we will talk about in detail during a separate webinar. But for now, just keep in mind that there's a powerful Office suite hiding in your Zoho Docs account, and feel free to explore them as well. So next are the collaboration tools. I know collaboration is an overused term, so let me be specific about the kind of collaboration what we are talking about. What we mean by collaboration is giving your team a secure place where you can have your content shared, have conversations happen, and get work done. So you have features like folder sharing, link sharing, comments, tasks, chat, and many more, which will help your team to work together, share ideas, and get work done. So next you have document management tools like revisioning, check-in, check-out, reviewing, full text search, and many more, which will make your document management easy and effective. We also have a two-way syncing application which will sync your online documents with your local computer and vice versa. So if you wish, you can have a copy of all of your online data downloaded into your local computer. And any changes you make to the files in the computer will get updated and synced to the online account. We'll talk more about this sync application during the training. So basically, everything you did in terms of document management or collaboration or Office suite using different tools and softwares is now available in one single easy-to-use application, which is Zoho Docs. And there are many more features available in Zoho Docs, but in this webinar, however, we're going to be talking about only the very basic things you need to know to get started with the application. We do have plans to provide advanced training in the future, and we'll keep you guys posted. So we're going to talk about the important three things that all organizations should do in their Zoho Docs account to get started with the application. The first one will be the organization setup, in which we'll be discussing about custom branding, user onboarding, and etc. Then we'll switch to account setup, in which we'll discuss about how to upload files and folders to the account, how to use the Zoho Docs sync application, and etc. And then we're going to talk about the collaboration setup, in which we will learn how to share files and folders in Zoho Docs and how to make use of the collaboration tools of Zoho Docs. And then I'll end the session by giving you some tips and tricks which will save you a lot of time. So let's first start with the organization setup. So let me take a minute here to talk about the organization in Zoho Docs. So every time a new admin signs up for Zoho Docs, an organization, a virtual organization, will be created in his account, which will resemble the actual organization the admin belongs to. And the features and storage space this organization is going to subscribe for will be assigned to this virtual organization. So whomever becomes a member of this virtual organization will be able to make use of the features and storage space this organization has subscribed for. So the very first thing every admin has to do is to customize these settings to suit with the actual organization he belongs to. So in order to view the default settings of this organization, the admin should first log into his Zoho Docs account and click the Admin Settings option in the left menu. This will take him to the Admin Console page, in which he will be able to view the current settings of his virtual organization. He can customize the name of the organization and also the default Zoho logo with the admin's organization's logo, which will appear in all the user accounts, and also personalize the locale settings like country, language, and time zones. So after making the changes, the admin should click the Save button at the bottom of the page to finalize the new changes. So now we have an organization setup that suits your actual organization's branding. So the next step an admin should do after setting up the organization is adding the organization's employees as users to this online organization he has set up in Zoho Docs. Now this step is very important because only by becoming the members of the organization, the employees will be able to use the paid functionalities and the storage space the organization has subscribed for. So to add the users, the admin should go to the Users tab in the Admin Console and click the Add User button, enter the email address of the employees, and click Add User. Now this will send an email invitation to the employee's mailbox, and the employee can join the organization by accepting this invitation. So this is how the admin should add employees to the organization. Now let me show you how the employees can become users by accepting the invitation sent by the admin. So here's how the email invitation will look like. To accept the invitation, the employee should click the Join button from the email. Now if the employee already has a Zoho account, he will be asked to put in his account's password to join the organization. If the employee doesn't have a Zoho Docs account, options to create a new account will be provided right there. He should simply create a password to get a new Zoho Docs account and become a member of the admin's organization. So once the employee becomes a user or a member of the organization, his user account or his user profile will be listed in the user list of the admin's Admin Console page. This confirms that the employee has now become an active member of the organization, and he will be able to make use of the features the organization has subscribed for. So once the employee's user account has been added to the admin's organization, the admin will have total control over the user account. He'll be able to customize the profile details, change the email address, password, and etc. Let's put a face to this name by uploading a profile picture for this user. So there you have it. So this sums up the account setup and the user onboarding process. So now you have a customized organization with active members, which means you're good to go. So let's move on to the account setup process, in which we'll see how users can upload files and folders and also set up the Zoho Docs sync application. First, let's start with the file and the folder upload process. In order to upload files and folders to your account, you can either use the web uploader of Zoho Docs or simply drag the files and folders from your computer and drop them into your online account. All the files you upload will by default stored under the folders section of your online account, and they all will remain private until you enable sharing. For uploading files and folders in bulk, you can use the Zoho Docs Sync application, which will make the upload process much easier. Using the Zoho Docs Sync application, you can sync all of your files and folders between your desktop and your online account. So first, in order to use the Zoho Docs Sync application, the app should be first downloaded and installed in the computer. The option to download the application is provided under the Sync option in the right top corner of the page for all user accounts. Just click the Get Zoho Docs button to start the download. And after the download is complete, start the installation by clicking the downloaded file and simply follow the instructions. Now, during the installation, the app will create a folder in the computer's hard drive that will look and feel like a regular folder. However, the only difference is that this folder will always be connected to your online Zoho Docs account, which means when you add items to this folder, they'll get uploaded to the online account. And any changes you make to the files and folders inside of this folder will also get updated to the online account and vice versa. So to start the upload through the Sync application, simply drag and drop the folders into the Zoho Docs folder, and the items will be uploaded with the same folder structure to your online account. Now, one other useful feature to point out in the Zoho Docs Sync app is its offline support. You can make changes to your files and folders even when you're offline, and when you connect back to the internet, the Zoho Docs Sync will update the offline changes to your online account. This will be very useful if you're the person who will be traveling and connecting to the internet on and off. So basically, this is how a user can upload files and folders to his account. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at how users can enable sharing in their account so they can start collaborating. Because remember, all these files and folders stored under the folders section remain private, and you have to manually enable sharing to make it available for other users. And there are two ways you can do that. One is by using the collaborator sharing, and this collaborator sharing can be used for sharing files within your organization. And the other is link sharing, which can be used for sharing files and folders with external users like your customers or your clients who may or may not have a Zoho Docs account. So let's first see how the collaborator sharing works. In order to share a file or a folder, simply right-click it and click Share. In the collaborators box, type in the name or the email addresses of your colleagues and set the access permission, which will determine the level of access the collaborator, in this case your colleagues, are going to have. The read-only permission will allow the collaborators to only view the file. Read and write will give them view and edit permissions, and co-owner will make them co-owners of this file, which will allow them to share the contents of this folder with other users from their account. So after setting the user permission, you can go ahead and click the Share button, and email notifications with the link to access this file or the folder will be sent to the mentioned email addresses. Now the folders has been shared with the mentioned users, and they will be able to access it by logging into their Zoho Docs account. So this is how the collaborator sharing works. Now let's move on to the link sharing and see how that works. So basically, all the files and folders uploaded to Zoho Docs will have a permalink, which can be used to access the file or the folder based on the visibility setting set by the owner of the file or the folder. By default, all the files and folders are set with the collaborators only visibility option, which will allow only the collaborators to access the file. But the owners of the file or the folder can change this anytime to everyone in the organization, which will allow everyone in your organization who has the share link to access the file. Or they can put it on public on the web, which will allow the external users, such as clients or customers, to access the file. And users can further password protect the files while sharing with external users by choosing the public on the web with password protection visibility. You can also set an expiration date for the share access, which will make the file inaccessible after the chosen date. After setting the visibility, the user should simply copy and email the permalink with the password to the external users, so the external users can access the file by entering the password. So these are the two basic options using which users can share their files and folders and make it available for other users. Now let's go ahead and see how the collaborators can collaborate on their shared files. We'll see how they can access it, how they can edit it and collaborate, and etc. So first, let's see how the users can access and edit the share files. The collaborator should log into his Zoho Docs account and click the Shared With Me option from the left menu to see the list of files and folders shared with him. In order to edit a file, he should simply click it and let it open in another tab. Now, the editor which you're looking at is Zoho Docs word processor, which can be used for creating and editing Word documents. We also have editors built for spreadsheets and presentations as well, all of which can be used for creating new items and also for previewing and editing your existing documents. As I mentioned earlier, we'll talk more about our editors in upcoming webinars. So the collaborator can proceed making changes to the document online, and all the changes he makes will be auto-saved by Zoho Docs. Now here's a question for you. What if one or more collaborators open up the same document at the same time and start making changes to the document? Whose changes will be saved? The answer is all of their changes will be saved, and that too in real time. This is what we call real-time collaboration, in which multiple users can edit the same document at the same time and can see each other's changes happening in real time. So let me ask one of the collaborators here to open up the document now and make changes to it. And as you can see, when he starts to make changes to it, I can see them in real time. This function will be very useful for your team, especially if they will be working on documents simultaneously. Now let me show you another interesting feature here. Let's say I want to make changes to this document right now exclusively, and I don't want any other user to make changes to the document while I'm working on it. Now what I can do here is simply put a lock on the document, which will kick out all the other users from the document so I can work on it exclusively. In order to lock the document, I should go to the Share tab at the top and click Checkout. So this will put a temporary lock on the document, which will prevent other users from editing the document even if they're halfway through editing it. And once I'm done with making changes to the document, and once I'm ready to make this document available for the other users, I can remove the lock by going to the Share tab at the top and clicking Check In. So this will also be a very effective collaboration tool for your team, especially if they will be working on documents simultaneously. Now here's the catch. All these tools will work only when the users edit the document online using the Zoho Docs online editors. But what if your users want to edit the files in their computers by downloading them from Zoho Docs? Well, no worries, we got your back. We have tools built for offline editing as well. So if the collaborators wish to edit the document in their computers, they can simply download a copy of the file to their computer by clicking the download icon and proceed making changes to the document. And once done editing the document, the collaborator can upload the downloaded file, which has his new changes, as the latest version of the original file that is stored in his Zoho Docs account. This is what we call revisioning, and this makes sure that all of your team members are getting the very latest version of every document. So in order to revise a file, the collaborator should right-click the original document and select Revisions and upload the file which has the newest changes. And the file the user is uploading will be saved as the latest version of the original file to which it's been uploaded to. So this means if another collaborator opens up the document, he or she will see the latest changes made by the first collaborators from his computer. And just like the online editing, collaborators can lock the document for exclusive access even during offline editing. All he needs to do is lock the file before downloading it for offline editing by simply right-clicking the document and clicking Checkout. And then the user can proceed downloading and editing the document. So while this collaborator is editing the document in his computer, if another collaborator tries to download the same file, he'll get a message saying that someone has locked the document and he should wait for the first person to release the lock. And the first collaborator, after making changes to the document and uploading it as the latest version to the online file, can unlock the document by simply right-clicking it and selecting Check In, which will allow other collaborators to check out the document and download to their computers. So this is how users can collaborate effectively using the sharing and collaboration tools of Zoho Docs. There are many other collaboration tools available in Zoho Docs which will make your organization collaboration easy and effective. We will be covering those advanced features in our upcoming webinars. However, I would like to show one of the features which I think will be very useful even for beginners. It's the task functionality, which will help you to manage your document approval or review process in a better way. So using this tasks feature, you can send a document for approvals or reviews or even set personal reminders. To add a task to the document, simply right-click it and choose Add Task. Select the type of task and choose a due date. Enter the email ID of the person to whom you would like to assign the task. Enter a description if you want, and click Add Task. Now, the other user will be notified about the task in his account, and he will be able to access the document added to the task by simply clicking on it. And after checking the content of the document, he can set a status for the task. He can even add comments if you want, and based on the status he picks for the task, the owner of the task will be notified. So this feature will be very useful for kind of automating or streamlining your document approval and review process. Now let me finish off by giving you a few tips and tricks which will help your workflow easier and save you a lot of time. Let me first start with the search option here. You can make use of the search bar at the top to quickly search and find the documents which you're looking for. You can simply type in the name of the document or even a few keywords from the content of the document and hit enter, and Zoho Docs will find the document and list it for you. For easy access, you can also favorite the folders and the files which you use more often by clicking the star icon next to the file or the folder. This will add the items to your favorites list, which you can access from the left menu. And if you'd like to trash a file or a folder, simply right-click on it and click Trash. The item will be moved to the trash bin, from which you can either restore the trashed item or delete it permanently. And the file listing in the File Explorer also has many useful functions. For example, you can sort the files alphabetically by clicking the Name option at the top. You can also sort the files based on the type of the file by clicking the All Files option and selecting the file type, and also based on the access time using the Sort drop-down here. And in the file listing itself, you have many useful information like who has modified the file and when they did it, and etc. And also, the icons on the file listing will let you know the type of sharing that has been enabled for each file. For example, a single user icon means the file has been shared personally. If the name of the file is shown in bold letters, that means you have not opened the document yet since it's been shared with you. I believe the features we have seen so far would be enough for the new users to get started with the application. There are many exciting features we haven't covered in this webinar, and we are, however, going to do that in the future, and we'll keep you guys posted. And by the way, you can also download our mobile applications for your Android or Apple device, using which you can take your documents anywhere with you. You can find our free apps in the App Store and Google Play. So now let's go ahead and start the Q&A session. So if you have a question related to the topic or even off topic, just press the raise hand button in your webinar tools control panel, and we will unmute the audio for you so you can ask your question. You can also post your questions through the chat box, and we have our technical team with us who will answer them for you. Or you can write your questions to support@zohodocs.com, or you can simply call us at 408-352-9170. Again, it's support@zohodocs.com, and the number to contact our technical team will be 408-352-9170. And you can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter. All right, looks like we have no more questions, so it's time for us to wrap this up. I would love to know your feedback regarding this session, and any suggestion to improve the session would be really appreciated. I will be writing to you guys a feedback mail to which you can reply. I thank you all again very much for taking the time to join us today, and you all have a very good day.